Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be short and sweet with this retro piece of shit Monday Nitro event, Monday Night Nitro from WCW back on September 9th of 1996. I almost said 2006. Yeah, WCW wasn't around then. But anyway, this show, the only thing good about this show is storyline development for the Fall Brawl main event match for War Games between WCW and NWO. We had a moment on the show where we got to see Sting. Looks like he has joined the NWO in this sense. So, based on what's going on here during that time, Sting joined the NWO going into Fall Brawl and turned on WCW. So, that we had Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen show up at the end of the show, putting on a very good promo, may I add, building up the hype for the War Games match between WCW and NWO. There was a lot of confusion what was going on with Sting until later on that night. Sting attacked Lex Luger by where the limousines were in the parking lot in the middle of a fucking rainstorm, which was kind of interesting. I thought that was pretty neat. A lot of interviews going on by Mean Gene Okerlund, making a lot of stupid and idiotic comments. I don't quite understand what the fuck Mean Gene was thinking back in that day, but he didn't do that when he was in WWE. But apparently, WCW, they allowed him to insult anybody he interviewed, which was, to me, seemed a little unprofessional. So to get into things, the matches themselves were just utterly fucking ridiculous. I hardly paid attention to the show while I watched it. It was absolutely horrible. I highly not recommend watching this episode of of Nitro, because this was just utterly and complete garbage. If you wanted to check out the segments, yeah, but the matches, fuck them. They are shit. Alright, we had Super Kalo versus Pat Tanaka. Match ended in 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Nothing important there. We had also a segment by the NWO, a paid following announcement by the NWO to go ahead and sell their merchandise for the NWO t-shirts, which was really fucking cool back in that time, because I don't think WWE ever thought about doing that with a faction, like having their own paid announcement for the merchandise that a faction might have. NWO, I think, was the ones that really originally started this. They went ahead and said, NWO represent the colors of black and white, and they had Kevin Nash say, well, just go get it already. And this is actually for Ric Flair's retirement fund. at the end of their paid announcement. I thought that was fucking funny as shit. There was some good segments, but the matches, oh god. If you guys want to sit through this whole episode, you are wasting your fucking time. If you want to check out the segments, skip the matches. It's well worth your time mostly. So, I mean, you miss like 75% of the show, because that's what most of the show you're going to be missing, because of the matches. The matches just sucked, all of them. I am not giving any ranking to any of these matches, because they were fucking garbage. Nasty Boys defeated the amazing French Canadians, Carl Olwat and Jacques I can't even fucking pronounce the names. Who the fuck cares? Match ended in 3 minutes and 27 seconds, and the Nasty Boys walked away with the victory on this one. Nothing big there. It was just a screw job match by the Nasty Boys, and the Nasty Boys made their announcement what side they're on, NWO, WCW, and they said, we're WCW all the way. Fuck NWO. We're here for ourselves. We're not here to go ahead and represent a bunch of thugs or what have you. So that was the end of that. Pretty straightforward and sweet and straight to the point. Scott Norton defeats Sergeant Greg Pittman in 3 minutes. This match was fucking garbage too. Didn't care about it. Juventud Guerrero defeated Joe Gomez. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Again, nothing big here. Very short, brief match. Rick Steiner defeated Lex Luger by count out because Lex Luger was actually being taunted by Nick Patrick to come outside, and we later find out that the man who is in the limousine was Sting, and he beat the living hell out of him and left, and Ted DiBiase and everybody else from NWO left him for dead in the middle of the rainstorm out in the street, which was pretty cool. I mean, you never really see something like that happen on pro wrestling these days. And it wasn't, anything, something that can't be used in today's generation of wrestling for, like, in the PG era. So, I mean, there's nothing that they did in this segment that was too bad or too violent or anything for anyone to watch. So, I mean, nothing bad there. We did get one championship title match, which was the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. This match was way too short. They should have given this match some more time. It was 1 minute and 38 seconds. The match ended. Rey Mysterio, of course, retained the title. And is supposed to go into the Fall Brawl pay-per-view to defend his title against a new opponent. The Faces of Fear faced the Public Enemies. This match ended in a DQ within 10 minutes and 42 seconds. So nothing really important happened here. You saw them using some tables, the Public Enemy, and it was pretty cool. Because back in 1996, you didn't see too many tables being used at all in WCW nor WWE until later on in the 1990s. So this was a really cool segment and match that they had. About the only thing that was worth watching technically, even though it ended up being a DQ. And that was because they used the tables, because it was just a regular singles or a tag team match. John Tenta defeated Randy Savage by countout within 3 minutes. That was also because Randy Savage went outside and was trying to go after Sting. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Why he left? I was losing interest in this by the end until they did that last segment. We had them showing moments of what was going on behind earlier during the show and so forth. And then we had Eric Bischoff talk some more about how he feels very disgusted about the NWO and what they've been doing in WCW. And the whole entire Four Horsemen group come up to the announcer's desk, do like an NWO ripoff, only not shoving the announcers away. They pretty much do their spiel. Arn Anderson, fucking unbelievable promo. If you want to check out that last segment on that episode, I definitely would check that out. It was an outstanding, superb promo done by Arn Anderson. And then you had Ric Flair do the topping on top of the cake, and he was just fucking unreal. Ric Flair was all intense, stone cold crazy, and nothing against Stone Cold Steve Austin using the word stone cold, but I mean, he just was all off crazy, saying, well, guess what, Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan? I don't want to get loud or anything because it is getting late and I'm kind of tired anyway. But yeah, I mean, Ric Flair was pretty much going, I'm going to see you at my hometown, I'm going to whip your ass, that kind of thing. It was great. I really enjoyed that. It was, these promos were outstanding. They actually had 3 NWO paid announcements The last one they had, though, I did forget to mention this, was all the members of the NWO that's currently part of NWO. So Hulk Hogan was there. He pretty much was saying about Ted DiBiase, about all the members in the group and how they're going to destroy and rip apart WCW. Very good segment as well. A lot of those publicly paid announcements by the NWO was actually fucking awesome. Very unique, out of character kind of thing, out of the box idea too. I had never seen any company do, or any company do a segment like that for a specific faction to have their own publicly paid announcement. I do understand that NWO is supposed to be a separate entity like another wrestling corporation, but the thing is that if you believed for one solitary second watching this shit, you thought that that was a separate entity, you are a fucking idiot. Because there is no way in hell that they would be able to run rampant, but yet just not build their own company. I mean, like, what the fuck do they need to go ahead and destroy and rip apart the fucking rest of WCW roster when they could just hire them and bring them onto their own show? And they could have had they could have had a brand show situation with NWO and do that way ahead of its time. But of course they didn't do that. They just started making it very noticeable. It was not a separate entity of another wrestling company. Instead it was turning into a bunch of gangsters beating the shit out of each other and cutthroat bastards. But again, as I said, overall this show was fucking dreadful. Nothing match-wise was entertaining. The only thing that was worthy was the segments that helped build up towards the main event between WCW and NWO's match at Fall Brawl in War Games. But at this time, as I've already said, unless you want to check out the segments in this episode and not waste an hour and 33 minutes of your time, I would definitely just check out the segments in this episode, but definitely not the matches. They were complete and utterly boring. There was nothing entertaining about this, match-wise. So at this time, leave your comments and opinions down below. Let me know what you guys think if you had the opportunity to take a look at anything on this show. And if so, leave those comments and opinions down below, as well as laying that smackdown button on the fucking subscribe. Because, man oh man, do I need the subscriptions. I'm just kidding, guys. If you want to hit the subscribe button, go for it. Definitely, I upload content every single day practically now that I got the retro reviews up week by week. And I'm kind of glad I do. I mean, I'm getting my channel very interactive. Well, not interactive as much as I would like to, but definitely it's getting more content day after day and week after week. So definitely go ahead. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to take a look at the episode of September 9th, 1996 of WCW Nitro, go ahead. I mean, it's recommended to just, for me, I recommend to you just the segments, but the matches, unless you want to, take a shot, see if maybe you have a different opinion about this, I wouldn't check them out. But anyway, at this time, I thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, guys, and thank you for watching the video. Bye.